Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Dylan. Dylan is from Pennsylvania in the USA. So let's see what Dylan has to say. Enjoy the interview. Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Hi, how you doing, William?
Hello Dylan, very well. How are you doing today?
I am pretty good. It's a cold, rainy day here in Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Pretty good.
Oh my God, you've got someone there behind you. Who is this?
This is Jasper. He is like 30 pounds. He's
Wow.
6 months old, and he doesn't stop talking, ever.
Hello Jasper.
Now he's got nothing to say.
So Dylan, tell me where you're from.
I'm from the Poconos in Pennsylvania in America.
Wow. And what's the best part of living there?
The views, definitely. It's a lot of mountains. We've got the Delaware River that separates us from New Jersey. So it's really pretty out there.
Ooh, and that's the place where you're born and raised?
Yeah, been here my whole life.
Wow. And tell me, what do you do for a living, Dylan?
Warehouse work.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about your job.
I work for Crayola. So basically, I just package the crayons and put them in a box for about 8.5 hours a day. But you have to make the best of a job that's very minimal and boring. So I find ways around it to make it exciting.
Absolutely. I think every job we do, it's always, we can always find a way to enjoy it and to have fun with it, for sure.
Right.
Dylan, tell me, before we start our journey, William the Magic Box, I would like to tell me something interesting about yourself.
Interesting about myself. All right. Where do we start? It's always this question that always makes people think for a minute, and they're like, who am I? Like, what have I done? Interesting about myself. Well, about 2 years ago, my mother and I started flipping houses. So I'm looking to make that into my own career. But being 23 years old, nobody's going to take me seriously. But I feel like I know what I'm doing enough. And that's like my main interest right now.
Wow, that's very interesting. So tell me a little bit about the idea. How does it work?
Basically, we're starting out slow. Like, we just purchased a trailer for $14,000. And what we're going to do is add on to it. We're going to redo the flooring, the cabinets, make it look beautiful, because, you have to start out small. Can't just purchase like a mansion and be like, woohoo, hi. But we started to do that, and we're going to try and flip it for about $40,000. But it's still a profit. You got to start small.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's how it's business, it's making business. That's how it works. You need to, start it out and somehow getting on the way.
Right.
Amazing. Dylan, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Oh boy, here we go. Hold on, let me get in a room with better light. Cool.
Amazing. So welcome to William and the Magic Box. My best friend, okay? From the fun questions. I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to move a little bit before the first question. Okay?
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, Dylan. So before we start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Okay.
First question for you is, what's your idea of a perfect friendship?
Someone who you can feel like you're alone with when they're with you. Like, you can be sitting together and it doesn't bother your energy, and you're just hanging out, and it's like you forget they're there.
Amazing. And your best friends, they live as well in the same town as you, the same city?
Not anymore. She just moved across the entire country, so I'm alone.
Oh, how come? Why she went far away from you?
She wanted to better herself. She found a college out there. Half of her family's out there. So I got it, but I was just like, you're leaving me.
What's her name?
Sophia.
Sophia, somebody miss you now.
Very, very much. Please come home.
What's the biggest similarity between both of you and the biggest difference?
Um, we're both, we share the same kind of humor. It's like a warped humor, but it's something where we would say something or like the most minimal thing and we just look at each other and get it, and everyone else in the room would be like get out. Best way to put it.
Amazing. Next question, Dylan. Let's do it. All right. Next question for you is, what was the last thing that made me smile?
Honestly, I went to Turkey Hill this morning and I got myself a sausage, egg, and cheese on a bagel, and I smiled really hard when I took that first bite.
That good?
That's very good. Food is my number one thing.
Wow. And if I would ask you, if there is any food that could we eat for the rest of your life, what that would be?
Not even just because, but eggplant parmesan.
Do you like cooking, Dylan?
I do. My whole family's Italian, so I was raised to know how to cook. And if I didn't, I would be ashamed to the family.
Oh, wow. Do you have siblings as well?
I do. I have an older brother, Nicholas, and he's about an hour away. And I have a sister, she's older too, Victoria, but she's disabled, so we don't get to see her that much. But we do as much as we can. And I'm the baby.
Oh, spoiled?
Is what?
Do you feel like you're the spoiled one?
Yeah. Sometimes I don't like to have that kind of like mindset, but I'm like, I'm the favorite.
It wasn't your choice, it just happened.
Yeah.
Next one. Right. Before the next question, I could see some tattoos in your hand. So tell a little bit about your tattoos.
This one is a double-headed snake. It's just the start of a sleeve that I'm going for, but money. But I have this. This was just because I thought it was cute. And then on the other hand, I have double roses, also just because I thought it was cute. I have a moth right here, which I kind of just got because I thought it was pretty. This is an album cover, but I kind of regret them. I got them when I was 18 and making a lot of regretful choices. So not sure what I'm doing about it yet, but it's supposed to mean I love you. And then that was just a knife. And then that's for my dog Shadow, who passed 7 years ago.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Right. Next question for you is, what is the silliest thing that you ever post online on social media?
So back to Sophia, there's this show called Bad Girls Club. I'm not sure if you've heard of it.
I'm not, it rings a bell, but I'm not familiar.
Well, it's basically they just get a bunch of girls and throw them in a house with alcohol and they beat each other up. So in sophomore year, we decided to make our own version of it and put it on YouTube. And it was just us super, super drunk, just beating each other up, but in a friend way. And we posted it and people were just like, why? Why would you do this? But it was great.
Oh, and what were you drinking?
Tito's vodka. The good stuff.
Next question, Dylan. All right. Next question for you is, tell us something that you have done that you feel very proud of yourself.
Well, about 4 years ago, my mom got into a really, really major car accident. And my brother at the time wasn't speaking to her like at all. And when I ended up telling him about it, he was just like, well, why am I supposed to care? So I ended up driving down to his house after like seeing my mom and everything, and basically changed his mindset. Like, this is your only parent left. Like, stop messing around. And I basically mended their relationship. And that's like one of the things that make me the most happy to this day still.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful, beautiful. Next question, Dylan. Dylan, before the next question, I believe you are a gay guy, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you out? Are you okay to talk about?
Yep.
So tell me, how was growing up as a gay boy? Did you always have the support of your family? And tell me the day when you came out. Did something happen, or you just naturally felt, okay, I'm gonna be myself from now on, and I'm gonna just share that information?
Well, I've known since like I can remember even thinking that I was gay. And everyone in the whole community I grew up in had suspicions except for my mother, and I was a total mama's boy. So I would just listen to what she said. And when I was 16, I decided to come out. That was in 2017. And around the time in my school, nobody really like cared anymore about if you were gay or not. The big thing was the whole like I think that was when BLM started. So maybe that was 2019.
But your family, they supported you well. You felt like you could be yourself.
Right. Nothing changed. Nobody got awkward with me, but everyone accepted it. Everyone was happy. They all knew except my mother. And she was the only one that was like, oh my God. And I was like, really, Jen?
Amazing. Next question for you is, define yourself in a season of the year and why?
Fall. Because I'm a colorful person. I love the spookiness. I am more into 60-degree weather. Anything above 70 I cannot do. It is too hot for me. I will die.
Is your birthday around the fall as well or not?
Mm-hmm. We can't enjoy it because of the hurricane giving us all the rain and wind. But as soon as that's over, it looks like leaves are starting to change already. I'm pretty excited.
And which month is your birthday?
May.
May? All right. Mm-hmm. Next question. Let's do it. Hey, Dylan from Pennsylvania. Next question is, what's your luck number?
What's my what?
Lucky number.
My lucky number? 6, actually.
Tell me why.
Everywhere I go since I was younger, it's been a 6, and I'm a very, I don't know the word, but every song that I loved on a CD was track 6 since I was younger, and every time I would think of a number and they'd be like 1 through 10, it was always 6. I'm not sure why, but it's kind of followed me into adulthood, so every time I bet on something, it's always 6.
There we go. I just was wondering now, what's the date today? Imagine if it was 6th of October, imagine. Amazing. Ready for another one?
Ready.
Let's do it. Before the next question, tell me, in your opinion, what Pennsylvania stands out of compared with the other states in the US? What's something interesting about the state, something unique in your opinion?
Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Definitely the wide range of people, because you will go from people who are very 1980s farmer, just completely in a different mindset, like people with outhouses in the backyard, and then you'll get people from New York and New Jersey who always move here. So the mix of people that kind of just click and don't click make it very interesting, because it's 5 hours to go across this whole state. So the east side, you'll meet everyone who's very yo, what's good, I'm from New York, and then you'll get, hey y'all, and I don't know, I think it's very interesting because I haven't been to another state that is like that, but then again, I haven't traveled much.
I see. All right. Next question is, describe yourself in 3 words.
Quiet, peacemaker, and content.
How about a negative one? What that would be?
Just about how shy I can be, probably.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, you don't come across a shy person. So interesting.
I'm glad you say that, because this whole time I'm very
I think maybe it's a way for you to it's kind of a barrier for you to protect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I'm working through all that stuff as we speak.
Yeah, I think shy it's a charming way of being. You know what I mean? It's charming. I think being shy. I think it's something, um, you know, different about being shy. People they spot that and people get very interested about it.
I've noticed that, yeah. But then other people, they just can't handle it. And they're like, why aren't you talking? And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Next question, Dylan. All right. Next question is, if you could make up a new school subject, what that would be and why?
I'm sure everybody says this, but just a subject where you can learn what to do as soon as you leave, because nobody taught me how to do anything with college. Nobody taught me about finance. I had to learn it all myself. And if you're throwing kids in the real world, it's good for them to understand, like, okay, there's these different branches like social studies and English. I could go into that kind of field, but then it's like you have to depend on your parents. And a lot of the times they're not really sure how it works either. So it would be beneficial if they would do that. Help out a lot of people.
Totally. I had a guest on the show as well, and actually he mentioned the same thing as well. Sometimes if we would learn that, how about dealing with money, how about all those, financial things, I think we understand more nowadays as an adult.
Right.
That's, yeah, somebody mentioned that as well. Good point.
Mm-hmm. It would help.
Ready for another one?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Okay, next question for you is, what was your favorite thing to do as a kid?
Explore the woods, honestly. We lived in a state forest where, like, the top of Pennsylvania, it's basically just woods with like 2 or 3 communities. So I would get lost there with my friends. We would bike for hours, just find anything we could. And I miss it a lot.
Wow. But where you live now, do you find some place as well like that?
It's like that, but there isn't as much woods. It's more just mountains, and they're starting to kind of tear everything down to put in like Michael's and like ShopRite and all that stuff. And I'm disappointed in it, but there's too many people that are coming out here now that they have no other choice.
I see. Right. I have 3 questions left for you. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, Dylan from Pennsylvania. Next question is, as you mentioned before that you like cooking, so what's your favorite kitchen smell?
My kitchen smell? Cinnamon buns.
Ooh, tell me about it.
Well, I make them at least once a week because I used to be like 300 pounds. So I'm still a very heavy person at heart. But every time I make them, I put way too much cinnamon and way too much sugar, and it fills up the whole house. My neighbors usually end up smelling it. And it gets me excited for the week.
Wow. Are you more of a savory person or a sweet person?
Definitely both, but probably sweet. Like, I've got to have chocolate at least once a day, like, or I not get hangry, but it's like how people need a cigarette every hour. It's kind of like that.
I see. Once I heard that people who eat chocolates, they are the happiest people in the world.
Mm-hmm. Everybody in my family is over 300 except me, and they're all avid chocolate lovers.
2 questions left for you. Let's do it. Before the next question, as we are the weekend, Saturday now, let's say if I would come to your city, your hometown in Pennsylvania, what's the best things to do on a Saturday night or the weekend?
There's a lot. For the winter months, it's usually just going to the bars, but we have a lot of like resort bars out here. We have Camelback and Kalahari, which are 2 very big water parks, and so many people come to it all the time. But there's that for the winter. In the summer, oh gosh, there's so many places to hike. There's so many places to eat. just trying to think. They're putting a Margaritaville out here, which I don't know if you know what that is, but I am so excited.
Margarita?
Margaritaville.
No, what's that? Tell me.
Well, there's this guy from, I'm not sure how long ago, but his name was Jimmy Buffett, and he opened his own Margaritaville after his song Margarita, or Margaritaville, actually. And it's just a place where it's like another kind of water park where you get to lounge around, you can camp out and get drunk for a pretty low price. And we're a resort area. Like, as the Poconos is known as what the 70s called the honeymoon spot. So it's a lot of stuff to do out here. You would have fun.
I see. All right. Next question for you is, how would you like to be remembered in life?
Not to sound emo, but I'm a very in the shadows kind of person. Like, I like to stick out, but I also don't. But if I had to be remembered for something, it would be that I was just real. I was always honest. I was genuine. I don't like, I'm trying to think of the nicest way to put this that doesn't sound like I hate my life, because I don't. But just, I don't know. Just as a real person, someone you could count on, be dependable on.
Saying that, Dylan, what's the best part of being yourself? What do you like the most about yourself?
My ambition. I'm always ready, even when I'm going through the worst of it and I feel like there's nothing left. I still just keep myself motivated and happy, and to just keep going, because that's all you can do.
Absolutely. Good point. Very good point. Ready for the last one?
Ready.
Last question. Let's do it. But before the last question, you know, for those 2 years that we went through regarding the COVID crisis, personally for you, what's the biggest positive impact that brought to your personal life? And also, what's the most negative one, if you can share?
I can start with negative. The only negative impact it had was inflation for us. I think that was like the biggest thing that came out of it, besides like everyone dying. You know, that's horrible. But inflation's still going. We're still raising and raising. And I just feel like, how did you guys lose that much money? I don't understand, because now it's like $4 a tank for gas and it's hard to survive. But positive, it kind of brought everybody back together. It brought families back together in a weird way, where you could connect again. And for me, I mean, that's when the whole thing happened with my mother and brother, when I got them back together. So I would have to say that, you know, just bringing everyone close again, kind of regrouping and then starting over, clearing the head.
Very good. Last question for you is, tell us about your guilty pleasure.
There's too many. Definitely food. That is number one and will always be number one. But aside from that, I think I have to go with food, to be honest.
All right, the first thing that came to your mind, why not?
Right?
Absolutely. Right, Dylan, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Okay.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game. Money.
Sad.
Okay, family.
Home.
One word for love.
I feel like I shouldn't be thinking this hard about these. Happiness.
Okay. Life.
Hard.
Sex.
Pleasurable.
Religion.
No hate.
Politics.
Don't get into it.
Fear.
Always gonna be there.
Friendship.
Important.
Desire.
Also, I would have to say important.
Regrets.
Normal.
Success.
Achievable if you're motivated.
Wish.
Wish?
Yep.
Why is this the hard one? Want.
Happiness.
I mean, it's there if you want it.
Perfect. One word for Pennsylvania.
Rectangular state of just no progression.
Okay. And the last one now, USA, one word.
Going downhill.
Let's pretend now we're going to meet your best friend, Sophia, yeah, you said, for a coffee, and I'm going to ask her, tell me the most beautiful thing about Dylan, and tell me something that he still needs to work on, to improve on. What she would say?
The most beautiful thing, I mean, not to sound full of myself, but she would probably say my personality, because I have never done anything wrong to anybody. I really stay far away from that. And for me to work on, she would probably say to just get over being shy, get over being anxious, and just get out there, because life is too short and I don't want to spend it being afraid of opportunities that I should be taking.
I'm so glad you challenge yourself to be part of the show. I think it's a good way sometimes for us to step out of our comfort zone, of our shelves, and sometimes you never know what can be out there. Sometimes it can bring good things for us.
That's true. That's why I just said I'm just gonna do this. I mean, it was exciting. I already liked the show, and I was like, well, I don't want to be the guy that comes on here and everyone's like, yo, what's wrong with him? Like, he's scared. But I was like, well, if it happens, it happens.
You're sweet, very sweet. Right, let's play now. Let's play now, Dylan, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. But by the way, before you ask me the question, people, they ever stopped you because you're the color of your eyes?
Yes.
Wow, get a bit closer. Let me see. My goodness, this is such a unique color.
Well, let me see if I can.
Yeah, I got it. Wow, beautiful, beautiful.
That was horrible, but thank you.
Right, you can ask me a question now, Dylan.
If you could go back to any moment in your life, not to change anything, not for any kind of purpose, just to relive it where you were at your happiest, where would you go?
Good question. I love the question. The first thing that came to my mind was the moment when I was 19 years old and I had the opportunity to move away from my life. Like, sorry, let's put it a different way. I had the opportunity to live in Portugal, to come to Europe when I was 19 years old. And
Nice.
it was, I remember the moment where I sat down in the plane for the very first time. My head was going through a lot of emotions. I left my mom crying in the airport. I was literally going through, I was going, flying away to a place where I'd never been before. Was the first time I was leaving Brazil, first time on a plane, first time, my goodness. And for me, that moment was very powerful because I knew that it was hard to get that moment because, I need to arrange the money for the ticket, plane tickets, to pay my rent, a lot of things. And when I sat down in the plane, when I realized that things were happening, and I was like, my goodness, that was a moment that I will always remember. So that moment for me was like powerful because I was going to the uncertainty. I didn't know what was waiting for me in Portugal, Europe. You know what I mean? And at the time, I didn't have plan B, just plan A. So when I look back, I go like, wow, that moment for me. And I can like vivid, like remember like it was yesterday because it was a very powerful moment. So yeah, that's for sure. I'll go back just to feel again that moment that, you know what I mean? I was changing my life. So I think it was a very special moment, I would say.
And how did it all turn out?
I'm here now living my dream. I'm here now. But yes, I lived in Portugal for 5 years before moving to the UK in London. And I'm so grateful that I had experience living in Portugal. It was like an introduction to Europe, you know what I mean? So I was, I think, arrived in London. I was 19. I think it was for me a preparation to come to London before. Like London is such a big city, you know what I mean? Everything's happening very fast. So I think I'm so grateful that I had that time before moving to London. I think it was very special.
That makes me happy to hear. I'm glad that everything worked out for you. Seriously.
You work every day. It's every day is a new thing happening. That's what life is about. Going after our dreams and living every single day, enjoying the journey. I think that's what matters.
That's where I'm getting to. I mean, I've had a little bit of a late start, but I'm just ready to put myself out there, challenge myself, try anything new.
My God, late start, you are only 23 and you say a late start. My goodness, what you are saying, my goodness. It's never too late. Trust me, it's never too late. And believe me, it's I had somebody on the show from California, and he said to me, William, I found my joy, my passion at 52 years old. So you never know when can come along. As I said before, you just need to go and try, and you never know. You can find your path just like that in a blink of eyes.
Oh,
Dylan, did you have a good time?
I did. I'm sorry I'm a little awkward, but I had fun.
Welcome to the club. I'm very awkward as well, so you're not alone out there. Thank you so much for being kind, being sweet, and for challenging yourself as well for the show. I really appreciate that. Thanks so much. But before you go, if you can share a positive message, something that you live by.
Don't be so hard on yourself, because life is way too short and it can be taken at any moment. So if you're worried, if you're afraid, to step forward, to make that initiative, even if you have crippling anxiety, just do it, because you'll make yourself proud.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure, and keep in touch. Thanks for participating on the show, okay? Thank you.
Of course.
Enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye, Dylan. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.